Hi, this is Laura with the Jackson Camera Club. It's getting too late to film before the club these days, so I thought I'd come over here to introduce our black and white theme for this month. And at the end of the video, I will tell you about our winter schedule. Enjoy.
And this is your assigned category, and it's black and white. And this is a black and white.
Anybody want to make a guess what that is?
Looks like a bunch of sharpened.
Is that the Stranger Things? The monster?
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Looks like the inside of a tree trunk.
Whoops, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. If you've ever wondered how tree branches stay attached to the tree, they grow from the inside out.
So all the trunk material has rotted away, but the branches are still there.
And that's why if you get boards, they have knots in them.
Yes.
Oh, that's
that
the
is
knot
very cool.
with it's not cut.
Well, no, but if it was cut, if the lumberyard took it and they sawed it into planks, every time it crossed one of those, you'd have a knot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before until I got to Washington State.
Looks like archaeology there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And basically that photo, I took it with the RX100, copied it to my phone, and then just while sitting here, I opened it in Snapseed and converted it to black and white. Basically, I took the saturation down to 0 and bumped the contrast a little, and then I just simply export, save as, put it on here, good to go.
Okay, here we go. Oh, wow.
Oh, I like that. Coming
Nice.
soon.
It's like a winter tree sampler.
Don't say that.
It's coming.
I like when you see something really dark and then it goes into.
They already got it. Well,
Yeah, the
duty
different
station.
textures.
Is that now?
I hope not.
They're nice. They're nice.
So I thought it was a roach, so is that water?
I just
Looks
did
like
my,
a pond.
It was-
I just did my
yeah.
color winter
Well, I
sandwich.
said it now, but, okay, I thought it was a road at
Yeah, with
first.
the ice on it.
Do you
hard
I
clear
had about 3 blizzards a year
Do you clear off the
when I
pond
was
when
there.
waiting?
Yeah, we don't know what those are.
Yeah, it has some springs.
Well, that was back in the 60s
Ah,
and
nice.
70s too.
No.
Yeah, my dad said weather was a lot
There's
different
water
than it is
coming in
now.
along the
Yeah.
Yeah.
river, so it's.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways,
Cool.
we done shivering.
Ooh.
That's cool. Yeah, I took
Yeah.
that from
Nice.
our balcony and converted it to black and white.
Okay.
Nice.
Wait, that was out your balcony?
When we were in Myrtle
South
Beach.
Oh,
Yeah, we go to, my husband has retirement meetings in Myrtle Beach every.
you've got competition for balcony window.
I don't think the stars would have showed up as well as
Forgive me for just a little bit of nitpick. I'd crop off a lot of that grass down there at the bottom and that really bright light over on the far left edge.
That one right there?
That's the
Yeah.
sky. Oh, that bright light, yeah.
Yeah.
I turned
Yeah,
it
that-
down a little bit.
Because, here's the thing. Do this thought experiment. Close your eyes and look at the screen and then open your eyes, and what's the first thing your eye goes to? It goes to the brightest thing, which is over there on the
Yeah.
very left edge.
I was
Mine
thinking,
didn't.
I have some of those that I have cropped, but I wanted to show.
those are minor things,
Yeah.
but other than that is gorgeous.
Well,
That
it's
is-
I like the
asymmetrical
reflection.
balance there. You have a lot of black on one side, but it's held in place by the white on the other side. You need that.
The
And
line
you've
brings
got
your eye
the
back.
Starburst coming
Yeah.
out of that
Mhm.
one too.
Yeah, that's what I like, that's why I didn't mind it, because I was gonna
Yeah.
crumple it off and I said, no, I want the real light.
Right.
The water
Yeah,
reflection
I like
is cool.
And if you take a good look at it here, you picked up a whole lot of
Nice.
stars.
I saw that. Yeah, nicely
If it
done.
was in color, I don't think you'd be able to see them as well.
Did
Yeah.
anybody
No.
notice the sky last night? How many stars? There was a full moon, yet there were lots of
Wow.
stars
Oh.
about 4 o'clock.
Well, that's why I didn't see it. I was
Wait.
asleep at that time.
Who took a picture of the eclipse? Was there an eclipse the other night?
I,
No, I didn't.
I got up and it was
I
just about there and watched.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay. Oh,
Ooh,
I like
very
that.
nice.
I really
That
like
is
the background
just,
too.
that's a very clean composition.
Question for you. Looking at your computer screen, is there more detail in the petals of those
Way
flowers?
more detail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the TV, it's really blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
I mean, this is,
Yeah, I want you to show them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Nice, nice, yeah, very nice.
Yeah, the monitor up there is a little older, you can see by the thick edges.
Yeah, very nice. That is gorgeous. And I like
Shows
that.
off this middle of the
And
flower.
compositionally, if you look at it, you got this leading line coming in from the bottom, and it's a curve that
Yep.
kind of goes like an S curve, which is beautiful, and it leads you in. It never takes you out. And you look at it, the bottom of those orchids is on the lower horizontal third, and it starts at the right hand third. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Is that outside your window?
We all wish.
I will say, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, I've got another spike coming, so I may have another bloom like that.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, no.
that's fantastic.
What's the
I'm telling
background
you.
of that one? It almost looks like a portrait background.
Actually, it's just a piece of blue mat board. So
There you go.
I just changed to black and white.
Yeah, nicely done.
Here we go. I know whose this is.
Nah, we don't know anybody who is remotely interested in aviation. No, not hardly.
It's not mine, so it's gotta be Jones. It isn't?
No, I had the one from Myrtle Beach.
Okay, that's true.
Whose is that?
That's
Laura?
mine.
Okay,
Very cool.
Surprise.
yeah.
Is that your husband?
I like the tallness of the pilot or crew member, and then the propeller
He's
there.
the one that was working on the brakes all day.
Oh, jeez. At the end, they had that baby sitting there near them. I'm like, not my kid wouldn't be there. Not right with all that work going on.
That was from here?
The air show.
Yeah,
Nice exposure.
yeah, nice exposure, good detail on everything. I mean, you look and pick out every cylinder in that engine.
Yeah, yeah.
He let me take about 3, so.
Good show. Nicely done.
Thanks.
Oh,
Mm.
little
That's
old
nice.
timey
I love all
stuff
the
here.
texture in that. I love the texture in that. It really makes it.
Yep. Definitely good looking
Yeah, I
artist.
like it.
Still,
Is that yours? Is that yours?
Nice.
Ah, the queen of the still life strikes
Yeah.
again.
yep.
It's all right.
Yep.
I could
I like
never
that.
begin to do.
The paper and the napkin draping
Well,
off.
that's-
is really cool.
Yeah. Reminds me of my granddad.
Now, is there a texture?
Yeah, I kept
Tape
messing
stuff.
with it and messing with it
Yeah.
because the colors were so dull. It never occurred to me to do black and white and switching, so this, but yeah, there's,
That's-
it kind of just happened, I think. I don't think I actually put a texture on it. It just,
Okay.
It looks like there's one on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I do something and I don't know how we do it, and I just love the look. I'm like, what the heck?
Quite the collection of antiques there.
that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah.
Also,
The oil lamp.
for
is
you
really
have all
cool.
those things in the fan.
The
Yeah.
shadow of it
Nice.
is
Yeah.
cool.
So, very cool. Put them together.
Mm.
I think you know where that one
I
is.
love the branches kind of in front, and then it's
Frames are real nice.
God did that.
peeking through.
Mhm.
Nice.
Is that yours, Paul?
Uh-huh.
Very cool.
That's neat.
You know, if I may make
Look at
a
all the
suggestion,
branches on the.
Paul,
Sure.
if I may make a suggestion, seeing as hopefully that barn isn't going anywhere, I hope not. I would go back and visit it, you know, and consider photographing it different times of day, like, you know, maybe early morning, late evening. And here's the one thing you want to look for. Look for nice clouds in the sky, because the sky itself looks kind of blah. If you had some nice kind of dark, stormy clouds in there, and by the way,
Oh, yeah.
by the way, just so you know, one of the nice things about black and white is you can add things to a composition like this and no one will ever know.
Well,
Copy
there
some
was-
clouds and drop them in there, yes.
Up that silo, there was like a street light, and there was electrical lines going.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, so
I
you-
was able to get all of that out.
Yeah, that's a, yeah, but yeah, that looks good, but I encourage you to go back and play with that and, you know.
I'd like
see
to
what-
do it when it's snowing.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll get your chance here.
Oh,
Is it real far away?
And oh, yeah, for what it's worth, seeing as you like snow, try to get it, you know, on a nice winter evening when it is actually snowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
you got
That
lots
was
of
a
options.
shot too.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I mean, that is a scene that has lots of potential.
Yeah.
And the other thing you may want to try, if the landowner will let you, see if you can photograph it from different angles.
Yeah. And the thing is, structures like this are getting fewer and fewer
Mm-hmm.
and harder to find. I know where there's a few.
I think
But-
about that.
Sometimes getting a place to park and take the pictures.
That's the hard,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, looks like red oak leaf.
I'm gonna warn everybody now, I'm a very dark and broody kind of gal.
I was gonna say, that's another one that on the screen, on the computer screen,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it has even more of that emotion to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It shows so much texture.
Yeah, and all the little veins and.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, that is a,
I'm wondering, I don't know if anybody has time or, but I've thought about that before with the Facebook page. Like, does anybody, I don't see too much, and I know, Joan, you post, you're probably more than anybody, and I don't post that much, but to see these pictures better, maybe we could put them, even if we just do these ones that we do for the meeting, just put them on that
You can
Facebook
throw
page.
up pictures anytime. I do a bunch for organizations and people and the Kidney Foundation and friends on, and I do a bunch of Facebook posts, so I don't get as much done as I want. But on our page, I want more people to post it, and we need more likes, or we're gonna really not have anybody seeing our page. And it would be really, really good.
okay. Yeah, let's move on while we're at it and look at our nature stuff.
Is nature
Nature.
a second assignment, or nature's a
Yeah.
standing assignment?
That's a standing assignment, and the third category is anything of your own
Yeah.
choosing.
We call it like photographer's choice,
Choice.
we've got different names for it. But that's so you can put in, if you have something you really love doing, you can put it on, on the flash drive and bring it in. The idea of having an assignment is sometimes we get out of our comfort area and take a picture of something we don't normally do. And that will help us grow as photographers. And you can put something, it's not very good, you may get comments, and it'll get you thinking, and that's how we all grow. And the nature one, as little as a hand of man as possible. It used to be a telephone line was in there, or utility pole. They didn't want it, but a lot of birds live on them. When I go, I've got one I really like, and it's a bird on a pier with a piece of bread that he found. That he lives on that bird. That bird lives there all the time, looking for the fishermen to eat something and drop a fish off to him. So there's no way unless I get him flying all the time, but I want to see him eating and stuff. So we're letting that go. But with our nature, you don't want to have a little bird in all pier. You want to have as much as the bird, but very little is man-made. Years ago, like I say that, years ago, we didn't have anything man-made, and we changed that rule because not everyone can get out in nature.
Well, and I know, I was confused at first because I didn't realize that, like, your garden flowers aren't nature.
Yeah,
Because you've
And
cultivated
it
them.
shows a reason.
that's why we
And we
changed
allow
it.
zoos, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What's that?
Zoos, we allow zoos for nature?
Okay,
Try not to make
That's
it
right.
look like it's in a zoo though. You can shoot
Yeah.
through glass, but don't have a ton of reflections or that type of thing.
Yeah.
So, we're allowing zoos and the animals.
How about kids? Like if my kids are in a
That would
cage,
have to be open.
don't, if I shoot through the bar, if you can't see the bars. If you-
So we need a special that calls under a special assignment category called violations of the Geneva Conventions.
Oh, no.
And then the choice one is just whatever.
whatever you want.
As long as it's family friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family
Yeah.
or your?
Anybody's family.
Oh,
Okay, anyways, now that I've interrupted things too,
That's all
let
right.
us move on here.
Cool.
This is nature category.
Yeah.
I thought it was my choice.
So, my one comment on this, what is the subject?
Yeah.
Who took this photo, if I may ask?
It's mine.
Okay, so, I don't know if you heard me mention this at the last meeting, but when you see something that you're going, wow, I want to get a photograph of that. emphasize the wow and get rid of everything else. I'm assuming
The
it's the,
contrast is much more significant if you see it on
yeah,
that.
well, I'm assuming it's that cluster of, what are they, berries?
Yes.
Okay, so they make up such a small area of the photo. I think if you chopped off like about the bottom, right about there, and you
Yeah.
take off a bunch on the right-hand side, you're going to be drawing more attention to those berries.
Yeah, because I'm going right to the bottom right.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right under the
In a
berry.
hot
But
spot.
if the colors, the reflections in the water, I mean, it depends on
It depends on the picture, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the picture?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
less of it.
Because I like the.
What color were these berries to start with? Because it looks like some
They were
of,
orange, actually.
okay, I was gonna say, it looks like a lot of them were kind of blowed out.
Did they got snow on them?
No, I actually, did color swapping
Oh,
and,
okay, that's why it looks that way.
It's like more of an artistic edit.
yes.
Okay.
It's abstract.
I do that sometimes too.
Mhm.
People are like, what?
I don't know if I'd say abstract, but.
Yeah.
I said it, it's out there.
Yeah, we can do some things, corrections and stuff with our nature, but
We try to keep it as
don't
clean.
change the true color of it.
Yeah.
If it's for nature.
Oh,
For nature. Oh.
That's not my nature, that's my choice.
oh,
I wonder
how'd they
Okay,
get there?
well,
We'll skip by that. I was gonna say, that
Where did
kind
Not
of,
quite nature, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, so, seeing as it's here, I'm gonna make one quick comment. You got a vertical subject, shoot a vertical photograph.
I took that over 30 years ago with an
Okay.
Olympus film camera.
Okay.
cool?
And I knew nothing about photography.
Well,
well,
there's
okay.
only one drawback here that I see, this real drawback, is you lost most of that ear and the top of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was
Yeah.
take it or
What's the story
lose it.
behind that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, understood, understood.
That was a film camera.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
close to
yeah.
Was that your?
Yeah, I was playing with her.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got this friend of mine took care of the Tiger building, and she was on exhibit with her mother, and her mother was beating her up, so they had to take her away from her mother, who got really angry. But she was fine. I fed her and played with her, and
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. She'd bite down, but not hard. Just bite and let go.
Okay.
That's a unique photo.
Mushrooms.
I'm assuming that on the computer it's.
Yeah, and on computer, it's nice and clean, and,
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it picked up all the little pine straw and everything else in here, so
Yeah.
it's,
That's a nice photo,
yeah,
that's good.
it's good balance.
Yeah, it
Yeah, really.
is. Nice composition, yes.
And the background is like so fitting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically the background tells the story of where you find those mushrooms, so that's.
Exactly. Like I say, it picks up all the pine straw and all the little leaves, look like sassafras leaves and
sometimes you
stuff.
find the little pine needles on top of the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You take that one, Joe?
No.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's a nice picture.
Is that yours, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hooty hoot. What's
Who
it?
are
It
you?
looks like he's in a
Sorry.
blind.
Who
Yeah.
woke me up?
Oh, what's he hiding out in?
So this is there's a Raptor Fest every year, except for a couple COVID years, but out at Lake Erie Metro Park.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And there is a rescue place that had a ton of owls. I love owls. So it's actually the person is wearing this. It looks kind of has the feel of like a hole in a tree,
Yeah,
but they've created it so the owl is comfortable.
yeah.
And that's where the owl lives. So I thought, and besides, we're not doing competition, so who cares?
Yeah.
That is cool.
But it's,
But that's where he lives, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good shot. I mean, it really is. It picks up all the little fine detail in here in the beak and right up in here.
Even all the sides of the
yeah.
feathers.
Yeah.
But he does look like I need some coffee.
What you looking at, Willis? Who you looking at?
Here you go, dude.
Oh,
that's
oh, yes.
That is perfection. It
Wow.
does, I mean, just a minor nitpick, you could crop maybe a little bit off the top, but that's
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, that is
Yeah,
gorgeous.
turn that into straight up horizontal probably by taking a little bit here and a little bit here.
Boom, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love, all
Yeah.
his lines looking, going right
And,
down to
and,
that
and the
skin.
other
Oh,
thing,
man.
look at the lines,
Yeah.
the lines of the dragonfly, they're all diagonals except for the
Yeah.
vertical wing, which is nice.
Look at the detail that got
Yeah.
picked up in that wing.
Yeah.
Now that's
So-
hard to do.
So who was the artiste who took that photo?
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
Good job.
What, was that a macro lens?
Actually, this is before I learned that macro is the best way to do that, right? To take bug pictures. I had to play with it a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
but I
Nice
wanted,
shot.
I wanted to keep the scalloped edge of that leaf.
And these
That's
little
why I
rascals
cropped
are
it there.
sometimes hard enough to get to sit still long enough to get a good picture.
Yeah.
He sat for a long time, so I have like
Nice.
50 shots.
That that's always a good thing. You know.
Yeah.
They add up
Uh,
fast, don't they?
And it was blaring sun too, so that was kind of
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's my
walked
favorite
down
one.
outside one day, and I said, I gotta see my neighbor's tree, and I said, okay, I'm taking a picture, and the next day, half the leaves were gone.
Oh,
So do you have a
got it right
polarizer on that one, Joe?
No, I enhanced it a little.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's-
I was gonna say, if you enhanced it, you didn't push it very hard.
I look at my contact sheet on the computer like nowadays, this past month, and it's like orange, like it's like just like a tile, a mosaic of like just orange and these fall colors. I'm like,
It was a beautiful fall.
yeah.
Lasted
Really
a
good
long
color.
time.
What the topaz did, it brought out the sky basically a little
Yeah,
bit better.
that sky is
The
good.
sky was a little watered, and I like the way the weight is around the tree, it's kind
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of framed.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah. A halo effect, you could say.
And
Yeah.
it's cool how the mowing lines draw your eye right in.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
again, we got,
Those are the ones that like shrink down, get all drippy and black.
When they're too old,
Yeah,
and they
it's
kind
crazy.
of fringe out, you know.
yeah.
Nice.
But again, great detail on a lot of this stuff. It
I love the
really is.
little framing around it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got some nice complementary colors there. The yellows, the browns,
Yeah.
What can I,
and that makes your fungi just pop right out. Very nice.
what lens or focal length was that?
Probably the
Something.
100 macro lens, probably, I can't remember for sure.
Was that 30 years ago?
Maybe 2 or 3. You don't expect me to remember things from 2 or 3 years ago.
I could have been yesterday.
Yeah, that's a timeless photo.
Oh,
So again, Cal, you got a vertical subject. I assume this was taken with a film camera many years ago.
No, you can't assume that. No.
Okay. So,
You can, but
The
it's
colors
wrong.
make it look like that.
yeah. So, again, you got a vertical subject, shoot it vertically. The other thing is I would crop out that red on the right-hand side because, when you look at a photograph, your eye, goes to the following in order. It'll start by looking for the brightest, then it goes for red, then it goes for orange, then it goes for yellow. And the red over there on the right-hand side draws you away from those flowers.
yeah.
I go for
It
blue.
does nothing for the photo.
And I would also say this, you kind of lost your focus right up in here, right in here, and right down here. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
you needed to
yeah,
make a couple adjustments there.
yeah.
More depth of field.
More than, yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't, well, I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah. Live and learn. Hopefully it's not a rare endangered species and you can photograph it again in the
It was some weeds in our backyard.
Definitely not an endangered
They will be
species.
back.
They will be back when you want them to.
With vengeance.
All the detailed ones are in the middle there.
They're pretty weeds.
Yeah.
So to get more of that in focus, you would what, change the aperture?
Well, there are a couple things that you can do. Number one, and granted, on this particular flower, it would be very difficult to do, but what you want to do is, as much as possible, get the back of your camera parallel to your subject. So if this is your subject, you don't want to have your camera like this, because what will happen is your camera will focus here, and this part will be out of focus, and this part will be out of focus. Where if, you know, this is your subject and this is your camera, they're more or less parallel, you're going to have more of them in focus. And the other thing, you know, I'm going to be honest, a shot like that, because you've got so much depth, physical depth in the photograph, it might be impossible to get it all in focus. Because the depth of field, the amount of distance in your scene from front to back that's going to be in focus,
And I don't feel so bad.
basically decreases as as you're magnifying your subject bigger and bigger. The more you magnify your subject, the less depth of field you have. I mean, there was one time many years ago, I was photographing a bird of paradise flower down at Hidden Lake Gardens. And everybody photographs it from the side. It's the one that has the long spike and then all these and I had this one shot lined up where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to photograph this thing head on. It's only about 6 inches long, okay? And with a 300 millimeter lens, I was shooting at f/32. I could not get the whole flower in focus shooting it because
Yeah.
I was shooting fairly close with a 300 millimeter lens. It was filling the whole frame. Yeah, you couldn't get it all in focus. So
And there's also sharpening software that does wonders.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Doing that with people.
I didn't,
You could get a lot
It doesn't-
closer to it.
I don't think I have the
That relieves you
skill set.
the depth of field problem. Get close, just use a
It's a
floss
topaz, yeah.
But the
and
Denise
use
also
like
has a sharpening
F11,
software.
F13.
So it's wider focus
I
ring.
have the new one, but I don't.
The other thing that you can do that'll help maximize your depth of field is if you have a camera that will let you switch to manual focus, you focus about 1/3 of the way into the scene. So you got, say, my hand here, you got my phone, you got my other hand back here. You would focus on the phone because at any given, wherever you're focused, your depth of field is a little bit in front of where you're focused and 2/3 behind where you focus. That will sometimes help. I mean, if you focused, because I'm assuming that you're focused, because it looks like you're focused on the flower that's, right
Right
there.
there.
Okay, whereas if you'd been able to focus on, like, back where the pointer is, if you had if you had the aperture set right, then you would have had more of those flowers behind it in focus too. Plus, still might have had a chance of pulling in that lead flower into focus.
How about
Nothing
focus
else,
stacking?
Focus stack.
Could do that too.
Yeah.
In other words, you need to spend lots of money on software.
We could discuss focus stacking as a whole
Oh yes, that's a topic for another day.
presentation.
I don't have the patience.
I've done it a couple times, and I always miss one section, and that's.
Okay, somehow I got,
3 years to not figure out like aperture.
Now, this is,
Oh, I like it.
oh, I know where that
is
is.
that black and white or, oh.
I think that's
actually
infrared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
Wow.
nice.
Oh.
I recognize the look. So, what camera
Just
were
a
you using?
regular black
Did
and
you
white
have
of
a
that,
filter?
probably wouldn't have. done so.
Yeah, I had it's a Canon, and I had I can't even remember what level of filter I had on it, but yeah, I was using a filter. I don't have one converted yet.
Gotcha.
It's on my
So,
wish list.
so I assume you had that on a tripod.
Oh, yeah, it's fairly long exposure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been maybe that one tree looks like soft leaf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I kind of like that in
Yeah.
infrared.
Yeah,
It gives
it's-
it that ghostly look.
Yeah, it gives
to
you
it.
the dreamy
Yeah.
look that
Like
you're
Kylie
famous
kinda.
for. That's very nice.
Look.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up, just look at the detail that got
Yeah.
picked up on that bridge.
Huh.
And like I said, I know where
You
that
make a whole
is.
look
That would be a really
Yeah.
hard scene to have have black and white, and that's
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah, that's very nice.
We already seen this
Yep.
one, for some reason.
Mmm.
Oh,
There's a
see
big
the wind on the
sand.
hill.
So blow that up a little bit, because I've got a question for the group. And can you move so you can see the top of the hill?
The sand blowing?
Yep.
See?
yeah.
But
there's people up there.
yes, thank you. That's what I wanted to know, if anybody would notice, would be able to see the.
Right
They're
there.
very
And
small.
Right.
the person or a tree.
Yeah, the problem,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the problem is they kind of, unless you zoom in, like he's done,
Yeah.
they blend into the background. I mean, one of the
Yeah.
more interesting photographs that I've ever seen similar to this, there was a gentleman who worked for National Geographic for 30 years by the name of Galen Roll. And one of his classic shots, he's looking across a mountain valley, I forgot where, and it looks like you're looking across a long valley and there's two guys on horseback. And from 11 by 14 print, they'd be about this big. And they're in front of what you at first glance think is just a snow-covered mountain, and it starts in the valley and it goes up. And they're this big and this white area is this big. And then you read the caption and you find out, no, that's a sand dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, so having small people, now that I know what I'm looking for, I can see those people.
Yeah.
If you don't see them,
Yeah.
if they're not there, you don't see how big it is. And
Yes.
that's-
Well, actually,
that's-
you know what, the fence
The
serves the
That's-
same purpose.
And that's also a very nice leading line.
Yes.
It's like
Down
a
through
zigzag
there.
the whole way up. That's
Uh-huh.
not very often
And then you
get
get
a
the
zigzag.
detail of all these footprints going up.
Yeah, so,
I like the
it's-
sand blowing on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
it was gorgeous. It was just a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Out west.
Was that 30 years ago? I think I see her tiger in there.
He's a troublemaker, that one.
Linda, you're probably gonna hate me for this.
Oh, go ahead. I won't hate you. Maybe a little.
I chop off about 20% off the top.
What?
Yeah, down a
The
little.
light part right there,
Yeah,
yeah, then make
yeah.
a whole different picture. I
Yeah.
could go a little higher, give it a little bit more breathing room, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere
That
there.
white, the white part, yeah, it makes it a whole different picture, and you're more, that'd be more the sand dune in the
Yeah.
story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You couldn't
Depends
tell
on
those
what you
people
want it to
come down
emphasize,
alone?
I guess.
But it looks, either way, it's nice, but it
Yeah.
would give it a whole new,
yep,
more emphasis on that sand dune, that's
Yes.
gorgeous.
exactly.
If it wasn't for the blowing sand being to me an integral part of the picture, I could switch out the background for some sky and you'd be able to see the
Not
people.
so looking.
No, we
could
don't
do
want to do
that.
that.
Yeah,
But then I'd lose the effect of the sand blowing.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that.
I don't have that skill set or that patience to keep the sand and remove everything else. I did, blow up the people, could you blow up the people again?
well, you could copy the
Can you-
sand, put it on its own layer, put in the sky, put the piece
Well,
of
you
it
know,
in.
really, and change the green behind it to a blue so it would blend with this.
Yeah,
But so where they were originally, I did change the background a little and added the light beige rocky,
Yeah.
because it was all green, all dark green behind me, you couldn't
You couldn't
see.
see
And
it.
even
Well, it looks like this guy right here is taking a picture
Yeah,
of
that's
it
what
through
I was
binoculars.
thinking.
That's what I was thinking too.
And that's the other thing, I got a lot of pictures on that trip of people taking pictures. Coral Sands National Park or something like that.
Interesting.
I'm blanking.
oh, I love the yellow with the yellow
Yes,
tree.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
That's really
beautiful.
cool.
Again, I'd crop off that blank sky at the top. Because,
It
it's
doesn't
just,
do anything for the
yeah,
picture.
yeah. Other than that, it's very nice.
No, you need that balance up
But,
there.
yeah.
You've gotta have that, context up there. Otherwise, you just have more of an abstract color.
I have the urge
Pistache.
to look just slightly this way,
Mhm.
so where that yellow
Maybe that second
fencing
yellow
is
one.
off to the right just a little bit, and you have more of the water.
So you would like to see this shot swung about 10 degrees to the left.
Right, so
I
that
agree.
that fence is at the 1/3 mark on the side.
Yep.
On the right.
I agree.
If you're able to do that, sometimes you just can't,
Right,
unless you
right.
go this way and then you lose.
That's not a fence, it's a dock.
Yeah,
The middle of the house.
whatever. Yeah,
And the
Yeah,
but then there's a railing on it, close enough.
The fence-like structure.
Whatever it is.
reflection is really clear.
The man-made wooden structure.
Right, or you could.
Would it help to crop off the right?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, that would be,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you would do the same thing.
Interesting.
So you get a whole different feel and really
Yeah.
emphasize on the yellow parts. You can make a bunch of different pictures with that.
Yeah.
You see the people?
I see people.
I see them. This is the sky.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is different.
So it's the windmill on the ground?
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks like it.
I'm assuming the sky is not really that bright on the computer.
it's bright, but
Okay.
it's not quite that bright.
The sky is
Just a little
really.
saturated.
And there's more texture in the clouds.
Yeah, I think the
The
sky.
composition is really good though.
Yeah, I think the greens look a touch oversaturated, and the sky is a little bit overexposed.
It looks like the Simpsons sky. Does anybody else see, when you ever
Yeah.
see a sky, when I'm driving and the sky is like the
Yeah.
clouds, it's like,
Yes.
the Simpsons like in my brain, I can't.
I know, yes, I know exactly what you're saying.
We have a support group meeting.
I don't mind the saturation and the lawn and that type of stuff, it kind of, unless you want a real, super realistic picture, but that kind of makes it nicer looking, but I don't like the sky.
Yeah, the sky is too bright,
Yeah.
especially.
Well, I don't know. 'Cause
And the
when I'm
clouds
looking
and
at
everything,
it on the
fine.
computer, it's still bright, but it's
It's not as
It
bad.
looks more teal up here, but it
Yeah.
looks more blue down
Yeah,
here.
it's kind of a baby blue or powder blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, that's the
Still, it's
monitor that
interesting.
we're looking
Yeah.
at too, so.
Yeah, the
actually all the
composition
colors
is
better.
nice. And it's very,
But I love
Something
the
you see
idea,
every day.
it's something you
Right.
just don't see every day.
No, you sure don't.
And that makes it very interesting.
Come to our house, windows all over the place.
Really?
He took it when they were constructing them.
Ah, I like flying them.
Is that the view out your kitchen
Slowly
window?
turning.
I'm not sure what I'm
We see
seeing.
it when they're.
Yeah.
it's a glass blower making a unicorn.
Oh,
And it was
Okay.
at Greenfield Village, and I took it.
Oh,
It was
okay.
blaring sun out, and there's little slit windows with my camera looking
Uh-huh.
through the window.
yeah.
I was amazed they turned out.
Okay, I gotta go like this to look at it, but there's the front legs,
If you
Yeah.
zoom it in a little, maybe it'd help a little.
there's the head,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the horn,
Yeah.
Cool.
and he's working on the rest of it.
Nice colors.
Yeah. Nice.
He whipped that in like 5 minutes or less. It was so
Yeah.
fast.
Would have been even more
What was your
interesting.
shutter speed?
I don't know.
That's a rhetorical question.
I had the.
It was
my
enough to
aperture
capture,
out.
you froze it.
Yeah.
You were faster than he was.
It was
Interesting
there for a
shot.
second because
Yeah.
he's been in the lakes or something.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ooh,
what I was
it's
talking
mad.
about.
Angry bird.
That was
Yeah.
here, he did not want me to see he had that piece of bread, and he kept trying to go around this bench, and finally, he stopped and looked at me and said, I gotcha. Another 3 or 4 steps and he would have fallen into the water, but.
That angry bird look like, what you messing with Willis?
It's fine, no one's getting it.
Nice, nice detail on the feathers there.
Yeah.
you know. It is. Black's hard to do too.
Uh-huh.
You know, I wonder if you might want to just clone out the board on the left.
What's that?
That was kind of, I left it in for the story of him trying to run away. He was trying to
Okay,
hide because
all right.
he started out in the middle of the dock and he saw me walking
okay.
towards him and he's like scooped behind here. Then I got closer and he saw me and then you go a little bit further. And so then I walked in front and was like, oh. That's funny.
Is that blue and bird feathers? Because I see it a lot, like with blackbirds. Is that like a reflection of the sky, that blue?
Oh,
It's
God.
on the
I know
lighting,
a lot of,
that
a lot of
lighting.
blackbirds have iridescent effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it iridescent that they're really blue, or is that like a
No.
reflection of like the sky, or, you know?
I don't think it's a reflection from the sky. Oh, jeez. I remember reading the explanation many years ago, and of course I forgot.
Refraction from the light source.
I think
I
so,
think
yeah.
that
I
the
think so.
feathers actually have these hollow chambers that refract light, and that's where you get iridescent.
I always thought of just, you look at the same scene different times of the day and the lighting changes on
Yeah.
everything.
Well, I mean, you take a look, next time you go to a park, find a mallard drake, one of the males, and just watch as the color of his head changes from that, famous green to a dark blue to a dark purple
Yeah,
as,
it's amazing.
as the light on him changes. It's the way that light reflects off the scales of the feathers, I think.
Well, my dragonfly photo, I noticed there was blue on his black tail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When do you want to start up again next year? Because we voted a few years for the new people. We voted a few years ago not to have winter meetings because some people come from a half hour or whatever and driving in the winter and snow. It's just not worth it.
Probably March.
That's what I'm thinking, March.
Although I will forewarn you, June, I'm that way.
You going again?
Which trail are you going on this time, Roy?
I'm going back to do the sections of the PCT that I skipped because of fires. And I am already seriously.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation about the photos, and if you want to join us this winter, we'll be doing Zoom calls or some kind of calls like that to keep in touch during the winter months, and then we'll start back maybe in the spring. Anyways, just get with Joan, our president, and she can put you on the email list for those.